My friend, the latest regarding the Diddy contretemps. Oh my God, it gets better. The entertainment world, ladies and germs. The entertainment world, and I use that, the ecosystem. It's my new favorite word. The entertainment ecosystem has seen scandals before, but nothing with the radioactive charge of the escalating war between Curtis 50 Cent Jackson, or Fiddy, against Sean P. Diddy Combs. Fiddy v. Diddy. This is no ordinary celebrity feud. This is a public detonation, a scorched earth campaign waged against the largest streaming platform. And now, if Fiddy, or 50, or whatever the hell you want to call him, if Fiddy follows through, it may spill onto YouTube in a way that, well, could reshape the entire concept of reputation in the digital age. Oh my God, what began as a 4-part Netflix documentary has become a battleground for control of narrative, legacy, and humiliation. And the man holding the detonator is not Diddy, it's Fiddy, as in 50 Cent. Sean Combs' The Reckoning has already made history. A documentary about a hip-hop mogul already imprisoned on trafficking-related charge. Well, not trafficking, more like prostitution, Mann Act, white slavery stuff. But details. But it has outperformed some of Netflix's most successful fictional franchises ever. But the most shocking moment, so far to date, did not come from the documentary itself. No. It came from Fiddy's revelation that what the public has seen is only a fraction of the material he holds. The implication is unmistakable. What has aired is damaging. What remains unseen could be catastrophic, apocalyptic, like nothing else. Appearing on the Sherry Shepherd Show, Mr. Jackson sounded less like a man promoting content and more like a man previewing the next phase of a controlled demolition. When Shepherd congratulated him on outperforming Stranger Things, he didn't bask in the victory. He dismissed it. He wanted it bigger. He expected more. He made it clear that the 4-part series represented, I guess, a necessary limitation, not a total release. And that was when he offered the threat that pushed this from scandal to historic chaos. If Netflix does not air the rest, YouTube will. Now that wasn't bravado. That was a warning. Absolutely. The internet, my friend, as you know, is ruthless. Streaming services at least pretend to have editorial oversight. YouTube, especially when used as a megaphone by an artist with 30 million followers and an appetite for vengeance, has none. Raw footage dumped online without exposition or context, well, can spread like wildfire and generate interpretations impossible to control. It's true. And 50 Cent knows this better than anyone. He built his second career by manipulating public attention and weaponizing digital media. Oh, yeah. So when he says he has more footage, and when he suggests he is willing to bypass the corporate filters, he is threatening to expose Combs to the most unregulated force in modern culture, the global hive mind. See, the documentary itself hints at why that threat should terrify Combs and his legal team. Shepherd pressed Mr. Jackson about, well, how much more exists? How much more exactly? And it's a fascinating issue. His answer was blunt. He says, a lot. Too much to fit. Enough that producers had to cut claims so inflammatory that even Netflix's lawyers balked. One such detail, which Jackson casually dropped on daytime television, was a bombshell. He said Combs fathered a child with a woman who had been dating 2Pac. Now, whether it's true or not, Jackson dropped it with the ease of a man who has more connected than you can imagine. From a man, by the way, who has more info where that came from. And the documentary, he said, required restraint. YouTube, he says, does it. Oh, it's getting good. And if that were the only issue, the situation would already be volatile. But the legal dimension has pushed it into uncharted territory. How did 50 Cent and his team obtain such intimate footage? Why was Combs so extensively recorded? Who owned it? Why was it released now? See, this is where the feud shifts from spectacle to legal minefield. See, some folks are claiming that Mr. Combs had been gathering footage for decades, but refused to use binding contracts with the videographers who documented his every move. See, that's so interesting. It's very interesting if you think about it. See, that arrogance many suggest, according to some of the insiders, created a massive legal vulnerability. See, when Combs failed to pay one videographer, and when allegations began to multiply, the footage reportedly became available to the highest bidder. In other words, loyalty didn't fail him, paperwork did. Now, director Alexandria Stapleton, who oversaw the Netflix series, insists everything was obtained legally. She emphasized that the team secured the rights, that Netflix lawyers cleared every frame, and that the identity of the original filmmaker is being protected due to, shall we say, safety concerns. And that last detail should not be overlooked. If the person who owned the footage legitimately fears retaliation, the stakes are not merely legal, they're personal and possibly dangerous. Oh, my friends. You see, Mr. Combs' representatives have fired back with predictable fury. They call the documentary stolen. They accuse Netflix of orchestrating a hit piece. They argue that giving creative power to 50 Cent, a man with a decades-long rivalry against Combs, is fundamentally unfair. And they argue that the material has never meant for release, and that the mogul's attempt to assemble his own documentary has hijacked. But this response doesn't address the underlying danger. You see, even if Netflix's documentary had never been made, even if every allegation were false, the threat of a YouTube release is a different beast. It bypasses corporate liability. It bypasses curation. It bypasses reputational management. In the court of public opinion, the raw footage itself becomes evidence, regardless of context. See where this is going? And the context surrounding Mr. Combs is already, well, shall we say, grim. He's serving time. His empire is fractured. His name is no longer attached to glamour and influence, but to federal raids and civil suits. A YouTube dump would not simply add chaos, it would obliterate the last remaining level of narrative control that his team possesses. It is impossible, my friend, impossible to ignore the symbolism. For decades, Combs dominated an industry built on image and perception. He controlled, the cameras, the parties, the press, the mystique, everything. He believed he could shape his own legacy through charisma and selective transparency. And now that same obsession with documentation has become a weapon in the hands of his greatest rival. And there is a deeper question right here, my friend. one that society will have to confront as this spirals. What is the public's responsibility when a private life becomes digital ammunition? Is it ethical to watch? Is it entertainment? Is it justice? Or is it something darker? Or do people just figure, we don't even care, just bring it on? Because 50 Cent is not threatening to leak criminal evidence. No, he's threatening to release a man's unfiltered life. And if it's true, there you go. The embarrassing footage, the reckless footage, the intimate moments that were never meant to be consumed by strangers, by the public, by you. And whether Mr. Combs deserves consequences or not, well, this next phase is not about law. It's about raw humiliation and absolute 100% public domination. So what happens when celebrity feuds break free of corporate constraints? Well, we are about to find out. If 50 Cent follows through, the Diddy scandal will no longer be a documentary. Nope. It will be a free-for-all. It will be a free-for-all and a free fall. A cultural spectacle with no narrator, no editor, a digital explosion delivered straight to global audiences with the click of a button. And once it is out, there will be no taking it back. The final question is not whether 50 Cent will do it. The final question is whether anyone can stop him. If you have not followed this, if you have not paying attention, you are missing one of the most fascinating stories that we continue to document and to bring to you right here at Lionel Legal. My friends, please, I ask you, subscribe, like this. Put us on the map like this. We need your demographics. We need your appraisal, your approval, so that we're in the fast lane, the HOV, to spread the truth from a unique position that deals with juridical reality, jurisprudential fact, and the legal take. Oh, my friends, we have a lot to go. Thank you, dear folks. Please, I've got some questions I want you to follow, to comment on in the comment section, which are so critical. I read every one, and your interchange is so critical. Thank you, my friends, as you comment, as you see fit.